Hi Olivia.
Hi.
Good. Welcome first of all to Happy Science, and today we're going to explain a little bit about meditation, show you around the wonderful temple here, and hopefully explain a little bit about the Happy Science teachings and give you a little bit of insight into the wonderful world that's Happy Science. So glad you could come.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Come on in.
Thank you.
So this is the main prayer hall, and in here we recite our prayers and we have different ceremonies, but as you can feel, there's a real wonderful spiritual atmosphere in here.
It's light and beautiful.
Yes. It's a beautiful place to come to sit down and feel the energy, get the sensation of light. So would you like to hear a bit about Happy Science?
Absolutely.
Let's go have a sit down.
What is Happy Science?
First of all, everybody wants to be happy. Okay? There's nobody in the world that doesn't want to be happy. And happiness really is a state of mind. If your thoughts are happy, in your mind, if your mind is happy, you are happy. So in Happy Science, we believe that the most important thing is to find a way to fill your mind with happy thoughts.
Steve, what is a powerful statement or teaching from Happy Science?
For me, what is the most powerful teaching that can change people's lives is that the essence of love is giving. We can feel happy when we do things for other people, but we don't expect anything in return.
How much time does someone need to spend or to give to Happy Science to get the effects, and how does it work?
In this universe, there's the law of cause and effect. Okay, so the more you put into something, the more effect you're going to get. So you could come to one Happy Science session and learn some truth, and it will affect you, and you will learn something from it, and your life will change. These teachings flow from deep within the wisdom of the universe, and within that wisdom of the universe is this incredible happiness. That's the sense of happiness. That the only way that a person can really know if it works is to put it into practice. Study my teachings, put them into practice, see what happens in your life.
I feel happy hearing it. I want to hug Steve. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Happy Science's workshop, Forgiveness. My name is Mimi. Thank you so much for coming today. It's a great joy to have you here. We welcome all of you. All right, so I'd like to start with a brief explanation about our organization. Can you hear me actually in the back? Okay, all right, thank you. Our organization is called Happy Science. What it is that it's a rapidly growing worldwide movement for the happiness of humanity. People from all kinds of background, culture, profession, faith, whether Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, Jewish, they have all been attracted to our open movement and unique teachings. Our goal is to unite the world. What we want to do is we want to actually make everyone happy. That's the kind of society we want to live in. So we provide you with wisdom. We call that universal truth. That is the teaching of the mind and also the true knowledge of the spiritual world and so on. Happy Science used to be called IRH, Institute for Research in Human Happiness. But we changed our name to Happy Science, and I'm sure you're wondering why science, right? All right, it's a direct translation of Japanese name, that's number one. And science in a terminology means finding out the truth that has not been discovered. Science in a terminology also means education. So this is an education of happiness. That's the reason why we provide you with wisdom and also this kind of workshop. This is we are providing you with tips and hints for you to achieve true happiness. All right. So what we do is we'll help you awaken to the truth. We heal you and inspire you spiritually. All right. So at the end of the workshop, we're going to have a drawing. Did you all get the ticket? You all have the drawing ticket? Okay. So today's lucky winner is going to win this Master Riho Okawa's best-selling, one of the best-selling book, Love, Nurture, and Forgive. All right, so we have something to look forward to at the end of the workshop, all right? I want to ask you a question. How did you get to know about this workshop? Who picked up the card from Starbucks? No one? What about the other stores such as like a bagel shop, Whole Foods, Panera? No one? Who came from Meetup? Oh my goodness, because I saw a lot of names. All right, and how about the, who picked up the card from the library over there? All right, so most of them you're from, and then friends and family? Rest of you are friends and family? All right, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. It makes me so happy, thank you. All right, so today we're gonna learn how to forgive, right? You know, sometimes in life, we tend to suffer from all kinds of relationship problems. Relationship problem with your family members, co-workers, bosses. You know, you might be criticized sometimes and hurt, maybe even betrayed. Usually the relationship among in-laws is pretty difficult, isn't it? Like between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, it's pretty difficult. So how about your relationship with your spouse? How about your relationship with your boss? All right, so let's do this exercise. I want you to do this exercise. Let's take a couple of minutes to check inside your mind if there is anyone that you have not forgiven. So we're gonna take maybe just a minute and a half or so, and let's do this. All right, so thank you very much. Were you able to find if you have someone you haven't forgiven yet? You know, you probably know that you should forgive that person, but it's not that easy. You know, and maybe you thought you overcame it and you don't hold grudge against anyone, but every time you think about someone particular's name, all of a sudden your emotions start swaying up and down. And maybe anger surges from deep inside you. You know, it surges up from deep inside you. And you're actually emotionally struggling to actually manage that kind of feeling, right? That is because there are some reasons why you cannot forgive that person. You know, she actually hurt me so badly and she never apologized to me, so I'm not gonna forgive her. Or, you know, I'm the victim, so I'm never going to forgive him. Or if I apologize or if I forgive, you know, that means I'm going to admit my defeat, so that's why I'm not going to forgive that person. Or every time I think about him, it just makes me angry, you know, that kind of reason. So let's do exercise number 2. All right, this is what I want you to do. Let's take 3 more minutes to think of the reason why you cannot yet forgive the person. All right? Thank you very much. Were you able to find some reason why you cannot forgive the person? Now I'm going to show you a clip of Master Biho Okawa's lecture DVD. This is called Practicing Forgiveness. So this is a clip, so it's only 3 minutes long.
If you wish to live a happy life, it is essential to practice forgiveness. It is not easy to forgive others, for this is a spiritually enlightened state of mind. People who are educated and trained at work often develop a tendency to judge others. They tend to see shortcomings of others and are harsh on them. But it's very important to learn religious truths and realize that forgiveness has great effect on your life. Otherwise, you cannot change. When you have a strained relation with someone, you blame the other person as the cause of your unhappiness. For instance, suppose your son was tragically struck and killed by a truck. It's a tragedy, so you're mad. You might want the driver to go to jail for the rest of his life. Or may even want him to be hanged. You would be overwhelmed with such resentment. But that resentment will never bring you any sort of happiness, because you are wishing ill on the other person. You are already unhappy with your son's death, and now you are increasing your unhappiness. If you consider the accident calmly, the driver of the truck may be a young man who does long shifts with little sleep. Since he is working under strenuous conditions, accidents like this can easily occur. It may not be entirely his fault. He may have a family as well. They have their troubles in life too. But you cannot think about their circumstances at all. It's hard to stop resenting someone who has done you wrong. But still, you must learn how to forgive. You need to say to yourself, I'll stop blaming him. This won't make me happy. He also suffered a lot. You need to make up your mind at some point to forgive him. If you have someone whom you resent or hold a grudge against, you should try to forgive them and continue your effort. Someone may have attacked you, insulted you, embarrassed you, teased you, or slandered your name at some point in your life. But remembering that forever more will not bring you happiness. That is why it is best to forget about it, and remember the good things those people have done instead.
Thank you very much. So this is what Master said. We need to make up our mind at some point to forgive him. Forgiveness is important and we need to practice it. That is what he said, isn't it? Isn't that important? Right. So now I would like to have a small group discussion. I'm going to put you in small groups, and maybe 3 to 4 people in each group. And you're going to discuss what I'm going to put on the screen right now. Right. And this is what you're going to be discussing. Why do we need forgiveness? All right. And then so that's what I'm going to talk about now. So let's move on to the next one. So what I want to tell you is that we're totally responsible for our own happiness. We actually get to choose whether we want to be happy or actually unhappy, right? We actually get to choose. It totally depends on you, or it's up to us. So, if your son was killed by accident, it is very, very difficult to be happy. You're going to stay unhappy, but yet, you still have to choose to be happy for your own sake. Why is it that? What makes us unhappy is that all kinds of negative emotions, right, such as anger and resentment. The moment you feel angry, you know what's happening? You're actually burning yourself in the flame of anger. So you're actually agonizing yourself. You are actually killing yourself. So you're actually living in hell. Heaven and hell actually do not exist up above sky. It actually is inside. It's inside yourself, inside your heart, inside your mind and thoughts. So let's not create hell in yourself. Let's create heaven instead. So that's the very important point. All right. So Master also said, you're already unhappy with your son's death, and now you're increasing your unhappiness. Is that true? What happened was already a tragedy. And then, if you're holding grudge against somebody else, then that means you are actually increasing your unhappiness. Like he said, you're tiring yourself out. You're losing energy, draining your energy out. So let's not do that. All right, so by not forgiving other people, you're actually wishing someone else's unhappiness. If you hold that kind of feeling for a long time, guess what happened? You're going to stay miserable for a long time. You're going to stay unhappy. That's the truth. So now we know it's not going to make you happy. It's not going to make us happy by holding grudge against someone. So I'm going to analyze it. And, okay, this is also what Master said, I'll stop blaming him, this won't make me happy. He also suffered a lot. All right, so always you have to tell yourself that it's not gonna make me happy. It's not gonna make us, it's not gonna make us go anywhere. All right, so like I said, I wanna analyze why it doesn't make us happy. We are physical beings, aren't we? But our true essence is what? That's right, spiritual being residing in the physical body. That's right. So that means we are all children of God. That is actually the spiritual truth. So that means we're connected at the spiritual root. And that is the truth though. We're connected. So hating somebody else means you're hating your own self. That's why it's not easy. We're all children of God. And this is something I always talk about, okay? If you come to my workshop on a monthly basis, you already know what it is. All right, there are some laws and rules in the universe. We call that laws of the universe. One of them is called the laws of attraction. Are you familiar with it? The laws of attraction, right, okay. So like I said, we are, it's also called the law of the same wavelength. Same wavelength. Like we said, we're spiritual beings. That means we're energy. So that means we're always emanating energy, and sometimes it's called wavelength, frequency, vibration, or aura, whatever you want to call it. We're always emanating that, and also we're catching that from somewhere else. There is a law in the universe that is called the law of the same wavelength. That means whatever the energy or frequency you have, you're connected to exactly the same energy or frequency out there. So that's why you draw that into you. So that is called the laws of attraction. So what happens if you're always angry? Always angry. You're connected to what kind of energy is that? It's angry energy. It's a negative emotion, negative energy. That's why it's going to make you more and more miserable. And if you're always happy, you're always connected to a nice, happy, positive energy out there. So that's what you're going to attract. It makes you even more positive and happy. This is also called birds of a feather flock together. You know how we tend to stick together or hang out with people you feel very, very comfortable with? It's because those people have same kind of vibration, frequency, aura, so you feel so comfortable. That's why you're always with those people. So that's another way of seeing the laws of attraction. Birds of a feather flock together. Right, so this shows what I just said. The blue energy attracts the blue energy. And let's say if the pink one, maybe it's an angry energy, then you attract the angry. The yellow one attracts the yellow one. So that's the reason why you don't want to stay angry, or you don't want to hold a grudge against anyone else. Also, I'm talking about why it's not going to make us happy when you hold grudge against someone. There's a book called The Way to Definite Health. Here it is. This is by Master Riho Okawa. By the way, he has published 2,300 books, of which most of them are bestsellers. It's incredible. Anyway, this book is only in Japanese. There are his books are translated into 28 languages. In English, we have a little over 100, but here, this one is only in Japanese, so I'm going to read a paragraph in English. It talks about how acts of forgiveness have the power to heal illness. People who have illnesses that don't heal for a long time usually cannot forgive others. Some people stick to their guns for a long time, repeating, I'm absolutely right, and he or she's wrong. But you should know that being persistent itself is bad. We're human beings. We make many mistakes. So the attitude, I will stick to my guns and continue to blame my opponent, is wrong. Your opponent may be wrong, but by continually blaming him, you're also doing wrong. So like he said, your opponent may be wrong, but if you're continually blaming that person, you're also doing wrong. There's another book I want to show you. It's called Healing Yourself. And this one actually came out recently as new title. It's called Healing from Within, but the contents are the same. So I like to read another paragraph from here. Let go of hatred and learn to forgive. In most cases, people who become ill with an unknown cause often have strong feelings of hatred. If you hate other people, then usually your physical condition will degenerate. People who are hated are likely to be in poor condition, but so too are those who hate. If you do not forgive and continue to harbor feelings of dislike, the workings of your mind develop nest of diseases within your body. Destructive thoughts and ill will materialize into cancer cells. So, well, this is not the only cause of the cancer. There are many, many causes like stress and stuff like that. But one of them is holding grudge against someone. You know, it's going to actually destroy yourself. So here's the point. You know, holding grudge against someone, it's not going to do any good to you. And that kind of a destructive thought will actually destroy your health. You know, so what's good about that? Nothing good about it, right? So now let's talk about the effect of forgiveness. All right, now I'm going to show you another clip of Master Riho Okawa's lecture DVD. This one is very short, just a little over a minute long.
If you find yourselves judging, resenting, or being angry at other people, you need to overcome these emotions. Forgiveness is not an abstract concept. It is not just a word. It is essential to your happiness. If you cannot do this, you will never find happiness in this world, in which so many people live. I am sure there will be people in your life who do not behave exactly the way you want them to. But through the act of forgiveness, let go of these things and attain peace. By forgiving people, you will sleep much better at night. The air will taste fresher, and the sun will feel warmer. And you will understand people's kind hearts for the first time in your life. Those who hate others are really afraid of them and cannot enjoy such blessings. They only think of themselves.
All right, so this is what Master said. Forgiveness is essential to your happiness. Forgiveness is essential to your happiness. That's what we've been talking about, right? It has a lot to do with happiness and unhappiness. And he also said, through the act of forgiveness, you attain peace of mind. You'll sleep much better at night, the air will taste fresher, the sun will feel warmer, and you will understand people's kind hearts for the first time in your life. And he also said this, those who hate others are really afraid of people and cannot enjoy such blessings. They only think of themselves. Is that true? That's the point. They only think of themselves. All right. So now I'm going to show you a testimonial DVD, and this one is just first 3.5 minutes long. She actually went through a very tough time, and she eventually forgave.
I am from Africa, and when I left Africa 31 years ago, I am very, very upset with my mother. I'm angry, very, very sad, because when I was growing up, there was a war in Africa. My father is gone fighting for the war. And I am very little. I have to raise my brothers, four brothers and 2 sisters. So I'm working very hard. I have no clothes and I'm crying. And my mother is working for many, many hours. So I hate my mother. I really hate my mother because I don't get to be a child. We have a daughter. I have a little girl, 16 years old. And my husband is from New Zealand. So every year my husband takes the child to New Zealand. And he says, are you going to take the daughter to Africa? And I don't want to go to Africa because I don't want to have anything to do with my family. So last year, my husband was, please take Janine to Africa, please, to see your mother, okay? Because my daughter has never seen my mother. She always goes to New Zealand to see his mother, but never my mother. So finally I say, okay, maybe. Then I meet the information of IRH in October of the year before. So I'm thinking, I'm reflecting, and I'm thinking about love. I'm thinking, oh my God, my mother and me. I didn't see my mother for 31 years. And I'm thinking, my daughter and me, if I don't have my love with my mother, how can I have love with my daughter? So I am reflecting, I'm thinking, I must forgive my mother, but it's very difficult for me to forgive my mother. So I go to Africa and I take my daughter. My mother did not see me for 31 years. My mother is old. She has no teeth. And I come and my mother says, "Water, my baby, Water." She's so happy to see me. You know, she, after 31 years, goes, "My baby." She's pinching me. She goes, "Oh, my baby, I love you, I love you." And I'm thinking, oh my God, it's my mother. And all these years I don't want to talk to her. And my daughter is watching, you know, me and my mom. And it's beautiful because my mother just loved me and loved me. And for 31 years, I don't have any love from my mother. So I come back and my daughter and I, we have a very good relationship now. You know, my daughter and I is very good. If mother and child have no love, how can you understand the love of Buddha for us? Because Buddha is like our mother or father. If my mother and me, we have no love, then Buddha, how can I know that Buddha loves me, okay? You talk about your mother. You become close to your mother. Because when you learn the love of you and your mother, then you can appreciate the love of Buddha as your mother and father, you know? I want to be a bodhisattva of light. But how can I be a bodhisattva of light if I don't have love, if I don't have knowledge, if I don't have forgiveness, reflection? How can I? Bodhisattva of light is the level number 7 for forgiving love. If I don't forgive my mother, how can I come to teach love, forgiving love? It doesn't work. So we are thinking about this, and we think about our husbands.
I'm going to stop it here. It's not very touching. This is a good example of happiness. Forgiveness is essential to your happiness, isn't it? So Nina actually, through the act of forgiveness, she attained a peace of mind and happiness. I'm sure she could sleep much better at night. Air tasted fresher. The sun felt warmer for her, and she could understand other people's kind heart for the first time. And she understood her mom's constant love. Until then, you know, she didn't realize that. Until then, she was, guess what? Only thinking about herself, just like what Master said, right? So it is very important to forgive people. Now, this is what we want to do next. Discussion number 2. So please, you know, maybe with the same people, or you can switch people too, but this is what I want you to discuss about this time. How can you forgive people who hurt you? All right, this is like a main theme for this workshop. All right, so let's do this discussion for about 5 minutes again. Wow, you guys are amazing. Lots of wisdom. Wow, we're getting wiser today. Thank you so much. All right, so let me tell you, I'm going to show you like 7 points from happy science perspective. How do you forgive people who hurt you? All right, number 1, you got to believe in the divine nature. Are you familiar with divine nature? Well, we talked about we're all God's children. That means we all have divine nature in ourselves. You have, I have, everyone has. So all people are God's children. That's why we do have divine nature. All right, so, you know, God wants you to be happy, but also He wants your opponent to be just as happy as you are. So He sees everyone's divine nature. So let's do the same thing. Instead of criticizing other people, let's accept everyone's divine nature in themselves. And let's leave everything in God's hand. You know, sometimes you can't control your emotions. Like, help me, what am I supposed to do? If that's the case, just leave everything in God's hand, and He'll take care of that for you, right? And there's another book of Master Miho Okawa. It's called On Creating Utopia. The essence of forgiveness is to believe that human nature is basically good, and to pray that the goodness will manifest itself in the end. So you got to believe that. We all have goodness in ourselves. Everyone, every one of us. All right, so how do we forgive people who hurt you? Number 2, either one is 100% right or wrong. You know, you thought about the reason why you can't forgive that person, right? You probably came up with many reasons, but you're right to yourself because it's your own perspective. You know, you're seeing the world with your sunglasses, through your sunglasses. That's the world that you're looking at. But, you know, from other person's perspective, you could be wrong too. You never know. So that's something you might want to take that into consideration. That's number 2. All right, how do we forgive people who hurt you? Number 3 is try to understand others. You put yourself in other people's shoes. You know, you never know. This person maybe hurt you, criticized you, or said something nasty in public and embarrassed you. You never know. Maybe this person was going through a tough time too. Maybe he was having serious illness. Maybe he was having a family problem. Maybe he was going through divorce or battle court. And you never know. You know, you try to understand that. You put yourself in other people's shoes and try to see that. Maybe that's the reason why. When you can understand other people, then you can accept that person. You know, when you can't forgive someone, that means you can't accept, and also you cannot understand that person. That is the reason why. And so, all right, so when you forgive each other, you know, then you can accept and understand. So that's number 3. How can we forgive people who hurt you? Number 4, think you might have hurt someone else too. You know, you've probably done the same thing in the past. You never know. Everyone thinks I'm right and he or she is wrong. You know, you have all the reasons why you're right. But, you know, you can't say you've never done anything wrong or you've never made any mistakes. And this is what Jesus said in the scripture. He who has committed no sins can throw the first stone. All right, so this is about stoning. If you haven't committed any sins, then you can pick up the stone and throw it. And nobody did, because guess what? We all committed sins. We all made mistakes in the past. You know, you think you're right, but in fact, no one's perfect. I'm not perfect, you're not perfect. So let's not hold grudge against anyone, because no one's perfect, including myself and yourself. So let's try to forgive people. All right. So how can we forgive other people who hurt you? Number 5. Oh, okay, one more thing. I forgot to read this paragraph. This is a great book, Message from Heaven by Master Riho Okawa, one of his best-selling books. And I like to read a paragraph from here. It says, "It is human nature to exaggerate other people's imperfections while minimizing our own shortcomings. We have a hard time forgiving people for their mistakes, but find it easy to forgive ourselves for the same things. We must realize that we have imperfections and everyone else does too. Remember a situation when a friend had offended you but did not realize it. You probably judge your friend for being insensitive, but the truth is that you have probably made the same mistake at some point in your life. Every one of us should reflect quietly over the decades we have lived so far and think about how many people's feelings we may have hurt." So maybe you never notice that you hurt somebody else. You know, you never know. So that was number 4. All right, so now number 5 is let go of your negative feelings and emotions. The bottom line is that as long as you hold the negative feelings, you know, it's not going to do anything good to you. It's just going to hurt you. It's going to do all kinds of damage to you. It does harm to you. So you have to let it go. Once you let it go, then you can be happy. This is the bottom line. So you must let go of all kinds of negative emotions. That's the reason why you need to forgive for your own sake. Not just for other people's sake, but for your own sake. You've got to do that. All right. So, I'm going to add something else too. You know, I talked about the the laws of the universe. These are the laws that we cannot change. You know, there are some laws in the universe and rules. You just have to abide by that. We have to abide by that law. One of the laws is that whatever you put out, it comes back to you. Did you notice that? If you do something nice to other people, it comes back to you. And if you do something nasty to other people, you complain and complain and complain and criticize other people, eventually it's going to come back to you and hurt you. And that's truth. And I know, you know, for some people who have someone who she cannot forgive for a long, long time. And this person tends to have a lot of a relationship problem with other people. And this person doesn't know why she's having that kind of problem. And she actually did not mean anything bad to other people, but the way other people take what she said, I don't know why it happens, but other people take it in the wrong way and then start having like a conflict or a dispute. And this person have no clue why she's going through that. But when I see it, I can see because this person actually holds grudge against someone in her family, okay, for a long time. So like I said, the laws of the universe, whatever you put out, it comes back to you. It's like a boomerang. Whatever you put out, it's going to come back to you. That's one of the very important laws of the universe. All right, so how can we forgive people who hurt you? Number 6. Practice love that gives. At Happy Science, we talk about the principle of happiness. Those are the principles that makes you happy. There are rules and laws how you can be happy. That's true. There are laws and rules. And number 1 is love. Love is to give without expecting anything in return. That's number 1. Number 2 is we call that wisdom. It's just like this. You know, we learn in wisdom how to forgive people, right? So that makes us happy. That's number 2. Number 3 is called reflection. That is to reflect upon your thoughts and deeds. When you have the wrong state of mind, you have a negative thought, and you need to correct your mind. That we use the reflection, reflect upon our thoughts and deeds before you go to bed. So that's number 3. Number 4 is called progress. Progress is not just think about your own happiness, but share happiness with everyone. You think about other people's happiness, try to create a utopian society and live in that kind of society. So this is a principle of happiness that I'm talking about that we provide with at Happy Science. That is love, wisdom, reflection, and progress. So the number 1 of the principle of happiness is love, love that gives. So love that gives is like unconditional love. You give and give and give without expecting anything in return. And guess what happens when you give? Who becomes happy? That's right. The one who gives love to other people become happy. Why? Because you receive reward from the heavenly world. You receive light. That's the reason why when you do something nice to other people, you feel so good inside. Isn't that true? Yeah? So this is, you always should try to practice love that gives. All right? So lastly, how can we forgive people who hurt you? Number 7 is believe in the Lord and the world He has created. All right. So you know you have to forgive, but emotionally you're having a hard time to do that. It's not that easy, but you probably feel like retaliating against that person and thinking, you know, because you weren't treated fairly, and you probably think, that's not fair. Things are unfair in this world. But the fact is, everything is fair in this world, or in other worlds, but in the world that Lord has created, it is everything fair. And you know, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. There is a reason why you had to go through that. You needed it. That was actually given to you, but I usually say that was given for you, because you needed it for your own spiritual growth or spiritual nourishment. So, you know, you got to believe in the world that He has created, and got to believe in the Lord. All right. So, are you familiar with the law of karma? This is another one of the laws of the universe, right? That's something we cannot change. That is the chain of cause, effect, cause, effect. Whatever you sow, you have to reap it. You know, it's a chain of cause and effect, cause and effect. So, like you said, you might have heard someone before. If not in this time, in this lifetime, then if you have a short-term view, okay, short perspective, maybe things look unfair. You know, why did it happen to me? Why I'm the only one who has to go through that? But when you have a long-term view, which includes past, present, and future, maybe you've done something in your past life. We call that karma. Karma is something that you did not complete in your past life. So you have assignment that you carried over into this lifetime. So now you have assignment you have to do. What happens if you don't complete it this time or you did it wrong again? You're going to carry that over to next lifetime. That is called karma. So you never know. And the truth is, everything is fair. Everything happens for a reason. Everything is fair in the world that the Lord has created. So let's just believe in the Lord and the world He has created. All right? So nothing is irrational or nothing is unfair when you have a long-term perspective. All right? So let's practice forgiveness in our meditation next. All right? All right, so I have an announcement to make. So our organization is called Happy Science. It's an Institute for Research in Human Happiness. And we work for the happiness of humanity, like I said at the very beginning. So we do have this monthly booklet. Each monthly booklet has special, actually, topic, like wisdom, courage, miracles, relationships, and diligence, heaven, that Master Riho wrote. And also, it starts with beautiful poem that he writes for each month. And, you know, this is like an incredible booklet. And this is actually free of charge. So if you like to receive this, if you haven't subscribed to this, please check yes on the sheet of paper, and you will enjoy the 6 months of subscription. All right, so this is called the Dharma of the Right Mind. This is our prayer book. This prayer book has Dharma of the Right Mind and prayer to the Lord and prayer to guiding spirits. We recite this in the morning and before we go to bed or throughout the day. And what it does is it will attune your mind to the heavenly world. It also protects you from all kinds of negative spiritual influences. These words came directly from the high dimensional spiritual world by automatic writing to Master Riho Okawa. Very, very powerful. It's incredible. So that's why we use this to protect ourselves from all kinds of negative spiritual influences. So this book, prayer book, is actually given to anyone who is interested in our teaching, who wants to learn wisdom to become happy, and who's not ready yet to become a member. We do have a membership system, and the regular member actually receives the full set of prayers. It has 28 prayers and sutras, right? But then those people who want to get to know about Happy Science, we call it a student member, but they receive this prayer book. And if you don't have this, I want you to pick that up today. If you're interested in this, please come see me later. You can receive this for $10 donation. All right? So we are the organization that works for the happiness of humanity. It's like a school for happiness. So we want to get connected. You know, it's not a coincidence that you're here. You're definitely guided today. So let's be in touch and let's get connected. And so like we will give you all kinds of information and wisdom that makes you happy. All right? And here's what we do. We have a meditation study group gathering every Thursday night at 7 o'clock at Happy Science office. That's actually in Fountain Valley, where where Brookhurst and Slater is. It's a small, cozy group. It's very comfortable. We have some snacks and we have a lot of fun. So you're all invited. So please stop by. And here's the next month workshop. It's about guardian angels. This is because we showed a movie in this room a month ago. No, actually 2 weeks ago. It's called I'm Fine by an Angel. So that's the reason why next one is about angel. Learn the truth about guardian angels. Do they exist? What is their role in our lives? Discover how to work with angels for protection and inspiration, and includes a short and powerful meditation. So please pick up, we have lots of these cards, so please take them with you and give to your family members and bring your friends next time. So this will be in 4 weeks in the same room at the same time. And we'd love to see you again. All right, so we do have a happiness planting envelope. We are 501c3 non-profit organization. So if you like to contribute to creation of utopian society work, any amount will be appreciated. Any amount will be appreciated. Thank you so much. All right. Also, you have the evaluation sheet, right? And we like to improve what we've been doing. So we like to hear your honest opinion. All right, I'm not going to hold grudge against you if you write anything negative, but I will forgive you for sure. So please let us know about your honest opinion so that we can improve what we've been doing. And we do have some of the books of Master Ryuho Okawa's. Like I said, he has published like 2,300 books. Can you believe that? Of which most of them are bestsellers. And all of them are full of wisdom, hints and tips for you to achieve true happiness. That is the truth. So thank you so much for coming to the workshop. I really enjoyed having you all. So I hope to see you again. All right, thank you. Thank you very much.